today I have the Goosebumps collection from Superchic Lacquer. This is the second half of the fall collections that are coming out from Superchic Lacquer this year. I will link the website down below. These release on September 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. There are 10 polishes in this collection. They are all thermals. In addition to those, there is also a top coat coming out. This is a fast drying top coat. What's different about this one from the other Superchic Lacquer top coat is that it glows white under a black light. So I'll have a picture of that. My black light broke actually when I was looking at this. I think it's just a loose bulb, so I haven't messed with it at all. But I will have a picture of that if I can get my black light working to show you what this looks like. It's really, really cool. Looks totally normal, like a totally normal top coat, unless you're under a black light and then it glows white. So again, 10 polishes in this collection. I couldn't get the thermal to show up too well in pictures, but I did show you the difference between the warm and cold colors in the video. So I will get right into the swatches. So the first polish is called Monsters in My Closet, and this is a neon green when warm to turquoise when cool thermal polish. It has purple, blue, and yellow glitter in there. So here's one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat, and I'm hoping that you can kind of see the color change as it warms up on my skin. I have a really hard time photographing thermals, so hopefully I'll end up with a picture of each color to show you at the end here. This one is a little bit thin in formula. It's not terrible, it's just thinner than what I'm used to. So here is two coats. So you can still see my nail line a little bit on the second coat, but I feel like if I can position some of this glitter here towards the end of my nail, it will cover that up. And this does dry matte, as well as the base being a little bit smaller than the glitter, so you will want a good top coat. So there is two coats of Monsters in My Closet. So there is the warm color on my pointer fingers and the cold color there on my ring and pinky finger. I'm going to try to do it this way because I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in pictures. The next polish is Doomsday, and this is a neon orange to burnt orange thermal base with orange, peach, and purple glitter. So here's one coat. This one covers pretty well actually on the first coat. I'm not getting as much glitter out as I did in the last one though. Formula is good, same as the other one, a little bit on the thinner side, just thinner than what I'm used to. So here's two coats. So you can see these ones dry matte, so they do dry pretty fast, and this one covers completely in two. I'm having to do a little bit of swirling to get some of the larger glitters out for this one. So there is two coats of Doomsday, and there is the difference between the warm color on these two fingers and the cold color on these two. The next polish is Gooze, and this is a neon yellow to grass green thermal with yellow and a few different shades of blue glitter. So here's one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat. These are all in kind of jelly bases. Again, a little bit of a thinner formula. Another issue that I did have with these is I've only had them for 4, maybe 5, 6 days at the most, and they're starting to separate a little bit at the top. It's nothing terrible, it's nothing that a quick shake can't fix, but it is notable. So here's two coats, and again, these dry matte, so you will want a top coat. I can still see my nail line here through the second coat, so I'm going to do 3. Again, good formula, a little bit thinner than what I'm used to, but it's not too thin. So here's 3 coats. I'd say this one covers about 98% on the third coat. I could still see my nail line if I looked, but you really have to look for it. Again, dries matte, so you will want a top coat. So there is 3 coats of Gooze, and there is the difference between the warm color. Warm is always the lighter color when it comes to thermals, and the cold color. And you can see these fingers are starting to transition back to the yellow already. So the next polish is Psychic Hotline, and this is a lime to avocado green, purple, and a few different shades of green glitter in there. So here's one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat. Again, it's in more of a jelly base. Formula is a little bit on the thin side like the others. So here's 2 coats. This one doesn't quite cover completely for me on 2. I can still see some bald spots. It is hard to tell with thermals though, because as they warm up, they get lighter and they can get more sheer. So it's kind of difficult. I usually just try to get it opaque when it's transitioning the best I can. So here's 3 coats. And this one does cover completely in 3. Again, these polishes dry matte, so they do dry pretty fast. So there is 3 coats of Psychic Hotline, and there is the difference between the warm and cold colors, and you can see that these fingers are again starting to transition back to the warm color already. The next polish is Bad to the Bone, and this is a nude to dark gray charcoal color. And this has white, gray, purple, bronze, and gold glitters in it. So here's one coat. This one is also a bit sheer on the first coat. Formula is a little bit thinner than what I'm used to. And again, when I'm saying that, I'm not saying it's too thin. I'm just not used to polishes this thin. It's just thinner. So here's two coats, and this one covers completely in two. Again, these polishes dry matte, so they do dry very fast, but you will want a top coat. So there is two coats of Bad to the Bone, and there is the transition between the warm colors here and the cold color. The next polish is Rotten to the Carmeled Core, and this is a green to caramel color, which I believe is what you're seeing in the bottle, with green and copper glitter. So here's one coat. This one actually covers better than I thought it would on the first coat, but it's still a little bit sheer. Formula is the same as the others. So here's two coats. This one covers completely in two, though I am trying to get some glitter towards the tips of my nail to help it cover up more. Again, it dries matte, so it does dry fast. So there is two coats of Rotten to the Carmeled Core, and there is the difference between the warm color here and the cold color there on my ring and pinky finger. The next polish is Tag You're It, and this is described as a neon turquoise to ocean blue thermal. This has neon pink, neon blue, and red glitter. So here's one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat. Same formula as the others though, a little bit on the thin side, but still pretty easy to use. So here's two coats. This one I would say covers about 95% on the second coat. I'm just trying to stack a little bit of glitter towards the end of my nail to hide that nail line. Again, dries matte. The base also dries down a little bit smaller than the glitter, so you'll want a top coat to make it shiny and to make it smooth. So there is two coats of Tag You're It, and there is the difference between the warm color here and the cold color here. The next polish is called Souls for Sale, and this is described as a neon cherry when warm and a deep blood red when it's cold. This has black and red glitters. So there is one coat. This one is a little bit sheer on the first coat and not quite even. You definitely have to manipulate this a bit to get the glitter spread out. This one I feel like has a little bit thicker of a formula than some of the other ones. The other ones ran a little bit thin, where I feel like this one's more normal. So here's two coats. So this one covers completely in two. I am getting a lot more glitter out and a lot more of the bigger glitter out on the second coat than I did on the first coat. Some of the ones in this collection were not super easy to get the larger glitters out. So there is two coats of Souls for Sale, and there is the difference in color between warm and cold. The next polish is called Killing Me Softly, and this is a neon pink to violet thermal. This has black, pink, and purple glitters. So there is one coat. This one is also a bit sheer on the first coat, but I am getting a good amount of glitter out. Just have to manipulate it a little bit to get it to spread all the way to the end of my nail. Formula on this one is like most of the other ones, it's a little bit on the thin side. If you apply these too thickly, they will run and pool down the sides of the nail. Well, it will be a thinner layer at the top and then thicker down at the sides. So here's two coats. This one covers completely in two, as long as you can get some glitter there towards the end of your nail. Again, these definitely will want a top coat because they are matte and the glitter will be a little bit bumpy. So there is two coats of Killing Me Softly, and there is the difference between the warm color and the cold color. And the last polish is called Pick Your Poison, and this is described as a violet fuchsia to deep berry thermal. This has a few different shades of green and turquoise glitters in it. So here's one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat. You do have to do some careful application for those glitters to stay where you put them. Formula is like most of the others, a little bit on the thin side. So here's two coats. And this one covers completely on two, again, as long as you're placing some of that glitter towards the end of the nail. Like I've said for all of them, they will definitely need top coat. So there is two coats of Pick Your Poison, and there is the difference between the warm and cold colors. So my favorite in this collection is Bad to the Bone. I think this is a really, really unique color combination for a thermal. I really like the warm color of this one, the bone color, and I also really like the bone color combined with the glitters that are in here. Super, super unique polish. So again, that is the Goosebumps collection from Superchic Lacquer. I will link Superchic Lacquer down below where you guys can find these. Again, they release on September 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.